Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. In today's video we're going to continue on with the whole top 10 facts videos, and today we're going to be doing it on General Grievous. I put a poll up on my Instagram earlier in the week between Grievous and Mace Windu, and Grievous ended up winning, so I appreciate everyone who did vote on that. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So for number one, long before he was actually on Sidious's radar, General Grievous went by the name Kaiman J. Sheila from the planet Kali. It would be during his youth that the Yamri of the planet Hook would attack his home, looking to enslave and inhabit Kali for all its wealth. Kaiman would become a fierce warrior and pretty much rack up more kills than anyone else, and the people of Kali would look up to him as a demigod. As the war went on, he met with Ronderu Kumar, who was a master with a sword. She would end up dying in battle, leaving Kaiman angry and sworn towards revenge. After her death, Kaiman would actually change his name to Grievous, destined to grieve, that's actually what it meant, and drive the Hook from his planet Kali. For number two, Sidious actually ordered his shuttle to be blown up. When the Hook were driven from Kali, they sought help from the Republic. This has put Grievous on Sidious's radar as a valuable asset. Grievous needed funding for his people, so Chairman Sandhill of the Intergalactic Banking Clan was sent in by Count Dooku. Hill provided the money if Grievous would command the Banking Clan's droid army, which he had agreed to. Shortly after Kali came under attack from the Hook again, Grievous went to help his people against a direct order. Sidious signed off on the shuttle being destroyed, with Grievous being taken alive if possible, so he actually would rather, he doesn't really care if he did die or if he didn't. The explosion was then blamed on the Jedi to fuel Grievous's anger towards the goals of the eventual Empire. For number three, General Grievous's blood was actually mixed with the blood of Jedi Master Sifo Dyas. Grievous had suffered major internal and external injuries after the bomb that was placed on his shuttle and ordered by Palpatine to be blown up. Dooku was on standby to retrieve his body and keep him alive if it was possible. He used a combination of the Sith Heartstone technique and blood from the frozen body of Jedi Master Sifo Dyas to stabilise Grievous until arriving at Geonosis. While some people have speculated that Sifo Dyas' blood allowed Grievous to have Force-sensitive traits, the theory has been rejected by George Lucas and Dave Filoni. However, given that Grievous had so many stories applied to his creation, this theory is actually plausible. However, it's noted that Grievous was actually tremendously angry that the blood of Sifo Dyas didn't give him Force-sensitive powers. And I feel like it would have been cool if Grievous had Force-sensitive powers, but I feel like the one that we got, the way he's just a warrior and he's really good with lightsabers, it just made his character so much better. For number four, Grievous is actually a part of a reptilian humanoid species. Star Wars is pretty much the king for creating numerous alien species. Some are nice and some are very intelligent and deadly. Grievous was a part of the Kaleesh, who have very scaly skin in a reddish brown colour that covers their bodies. As a Kaleesh, General Grievous had 4 claws to a hand and 5 clawed feet. He could see in the dark thanks to thermal pits under his eyes and had long ears with stretched out nostrils. While having many reptilian features, he actually had human traits too. Grievous had thumbs, he was highly intelligent, and the Kaleesh actually walk on 2 legs. His cyborg shell was an enhanced version of his reptilian humanoid body. The Kaleesh were also known for wearing masks, and it was actually very uncommon for an outsider to see their actual faces. For number 5, Count Dooku actually thought Grievous was an abomination. Dooku and Palpatine believed humans to be the superior race of the galaxy, looking down on droids and aliens. Because Grievous was actually both things, the elite regarded him as a lower class citizen. According to Dooku, Grievous was nothing more than another droid and an abomination of life. General Grievous actually hated Dooku too, at least at first when they met, because of his attitude towards him. But he would come to respect him as a master in time because of his fighting abilities and skill with the lightsaber. Through Count Dooku training and teachings, he would learn to wield lightsabers like no other weapon he had used before. We can only imagine what Grievous would have been like if Sidious and Count Dooku had viewed him as more of a tool during the whole Clone Wars. For number 6, General Grievous obviously wasn't Force sensitive, nor was he a Jedi or a Sith. All of the skills he had of wielding 4 Jedi blades at a time came from the training that he had under Count Dooku. He was also already a battle-tested warrior prior to his transformation, allowing him to dominate over Jedi in battle. His skills with a lightsaber were purely technique-driven. To fully master a saber, the user's energy must connect with the Kyber crystal, allowing the lightsaber to be an extension of the one wielding it. Grievous would often rely on cheap tricks during battles, alongside with his fighting techniques to overpower his opponents. If Grievous had been Force sensitive, his relationship with Dooku would have been a lot better, and he would have been equivalent in power to the likes of Savage Opress or even Darth Maul. Being Force sensitive it could have given Count Dooku and Grievous together, would have given them the same power, or maybe just close enough to be able to take over Palpatine and then take over the whole galaxy. And a lot like Maul, maybe he could have killed Dooku and then had a throne beside Darth Sidious. For number 7, Grievous actually collected Sith lightsabers before Jedi lightsabers. In the stories of Star Wars Legends and sometime before the Battle of Geonosis, the Dark Twin Jedi sisters Kai and Lee used their trickery to gain access onto General Grievous' starship. Once they were aboard his ship, they stole his collection of Sith lightsabers, which he most likely inherited from Count Dooku. Kai and Lee fled to the acidic world of Daika, where Grievous actually eventually tracked them down. They would face each other on the cliff's edges when the sisters were using their newly acquired lightsabers. During the fight, Kai and Lee would gain an advantage on Grievous, forcing him over the side of the cliff, which he hung onto with his metal talons. As Kai slowly approached the edge, Grievous leapt from the side and knocked both of the Sith lightsabers from their hands. Unfortunately, the sabers fell into the acidic pool below, and the Dark Sisters retreated from the battle. Angered over his loss of the sabers, he vowed to start a new collection of Jedi lightsabers instead. For number 8, George Lucas is actually General Grievous' cough. George Lucas wanted a backstory for General Grievous and his cough in order to create a weakness for him. What he didn't plan on was suffering from a cold that left him sounding like a 4-pack-a-day smoker during production. Instead of taking time off to rest, Lucas took advantage of his symptoms and had his cough recorded in the studio. The cough and wheezing were then digitally enhanced to sound more robotic and metal-like, but its origins were natural. George wasn't sure if he was going to use the recordings at first, but he simply recorded them just in case he liked how they sounded. When Lucas heard it for the first time, he was sold, and his cough became that of General Grievous. For number 9, his cough was actually caused by Mace Windu. While the prequels had their rough moments, most fans enjoyed the books that were associated with the movies. This was especially true for the Revenge of the Sith novel written by Matthew Stover. Prior to the kidnapping of Senator Palpatine, Grievous needed to fight his way through dozens of Jedi and clone troopers, one of the Jedi being Mace Windu. Grievous always had a wheeze and occasional cough due to his organic form rejecting his cyborg implants. However, the cough that fans hear in Episode 3 is much worse, directly due to Mace Windu. After Grievous kidnapped Senator Palpatine from the Jedi Protectors, Mace Windu force-crushed his plates surrounding Grievous' internal organ sac before Grievous and Palpatine boarded his getaway ship, his injured lungs making his cough and wheezing much worse. And for number 10, Grievous hated his new body. Grievous was a proud Kaleesh warrior who had trained his body in the art of war. Upon being 70% machine, he hated what he'd become. He even took the title of Supreme Commander of the Droid Armies as an insult. He was so upset over his appearance that when Dooku presented him with Jedi Master Sifo Dyas' lightsaber, he immediately destroyed every Magma Guard that was in his vicinity. Dooku referring to Grievous as a droid certainly didn't help things either. As an act of rebellion towards his new body, Grievous often wore cloaks similar to that of the Kaleesh people. And in some of the Star Wars novels, in Legends, he even wears masks like the one he used to wear when he was the leader of Kali. And yeah guys, that's going to be all. I hope you did enjoy this video on the top 10 facts. I'm really enjoying doing these videos because I'm learning loads as well. And I'm going to do polls every second day of 2 Star Wars characters, and then you guys can vote on who you want to see. And yeah guys, I really appreciate it. I'd love a like and subscribe on the video, and a comment below on any advice or videos you want to see in the future. And yeah guys, that's going to be all for today. Have a great rest of your day and take care.